very vague question. What are your thoughts? Listen, I feel that with all the work that we're doing this year and everything that has happened this year, highlighting the issues that we have in the world, the diversity code being one of them, we're in a position where education is key. And I know I've said that before, and I know people keep saying education. And sometimes it feels like, okay, we're educating people, but what does that really mean? And what does that really look like? And education isn't necessarily the generations that are coming through. We don't necessarily just have to educate our kids on the society of today or what you can and can't say, but also people in Greg's position, people that have lived in different cultures and lived in different times to what we're living in at the moment. So that phrase may have been acceptable once upon a time, but I think with what is going on in the world, probably highlights those comments today, probably highlight even more than I could, even more than what the code can, even more than what players or staff can, that we still got a long way to go. I don't think there's any shame in that, but we still have a long way to go, both in our association, but in wider society as well.
So I'd like to get your reaction to Martin Ziegler in The Times reporting that Greg Clarke is set to quit at the FA. As you have just said, his comments have to be separated from what the FA has done and the good work. And I'm sorry, I am asking you to react to this in 2020.
Well, you sprung that on me about he's due to quit. I mean, that's not something that I would probably comment on if you asked me. Or if I asked you live on TV, what do you feel about your boss quitting, or someone in a more senior role than you? I don't think that's fair. But like I said, I'll reiterate my point that we do still have a very, very long way to go. And I think there's no shame in that. There's no shame in knowing that we can all improve. There's no shame in knowing that we all have to have uncomfortable conversations, because whilst it doesn't affect large proportions of society or the community, it does affect some segments of it. And like you said, football is such a diverse community that we have to be aware of what is appropriate for one another. And we have to be careful and mindful of the terminology that we use. So I won't comment too much on that. But like you said, I'm sure there'll be other people around the country that are angry as well.